they knew that you are not just talking the talk, but walking the walk. And talking about sadaqah, I think you and Dr. Talal are a great combination of contribution. You yourself are sadaqah for this community, are giving your encouragement and inspiration and time and support. And you mentioned Hajj Ramzi, God prolonged her life, and she is another excellent example of charity. She's been helping House of Wisdom with entire heart and soul and hand and head. And now that we are honoring you great ladies of light in our community, let us also honor another lady who was with us and was working with Hajj Ramzi and the entire team of Islamic House of Wisdom, and that was Marhuma Hajj Maryam. Let us say Fatiha to bless her soul and the soul of the Amwat of all of you, and Hajj Ni'ma, our guest speaker for tonight, بعد الصلوات على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. As we already heard, this is Laylat al-Qasim, the night of a representative of Imam al-Hassan in Ashura. The young boy who lost his dad 10 years before Ashura. He was 2-3 years old when Imam al-Mujtaba got martyred. So he was raised by Imam Hussein, and he looks at the Imam like his father. When Imam was explaining the situation the night before Ashura, and he's listening that the uncle is talking about tomorrow and the fact that everyone will face his destiny, and anyone who is here of the man will be killed. Qasim is listening, and for a while he thinks that because of his age, is he still included in the honor that the uncle is talking about? So he asked just to make sure that, Ya Abu Abdullah, am I going to be included? I am one of the martyrs. I will be killed too. Imam Hussein, before answering this question, he raised a question. He said, Qasim, tell me, كيف الموت عندك? So people know in the future that these people knew what they were doing. It's not that he's 12 years old or 30 years old. He doesn't know what's going on. He said, الموت عندي أحلى من العسل, as you heard, sweeter than honey. Then Imam Hussein told him that, yes, since this is your passion and you are willing to participate in this sacrifice, you will be one of the martyrs as well. This made Karbala, Karbala, brothers and sisters. Karbala means commitment. Karbala means courage. Karbala means sacrifice and salvation. One of the brothers asked me that we were talking about Imam Hussein the last 6-7 nights. What about the root of Ahlul Bayt, the personality of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him himself? So I said, okay, tonight I change a little bit the tone of my talk to speak about the relationship between what happened in Karbala as continuity of the mission of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. You know, there is in some of our ahadith that al-Islamu nabawi al-huduth wa Husayni al-baqa. The founder is the Prophet, but the one who guaranteed the continuity of that covenant that came from heaven to the heart of Rasulullah was Al-Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Unfortunately, Islam was hijacked from very beginning. It's not that in 9/11 Islam was hijacked for the first time, no. Since Abu Sufyan's family came to power in Islam, since then, the Islam of Muhammad, the Islam of values, turned to a fake and false Islam. And that is the Amawi Islam of hatred, violence, and terrorism, and other kinds of evil. And this is what some of the Sunni scholars mention in their sources, that قال أبو سفيان يوم بيعة عثمان تلقفوها يا بني أمية تلقف الكرة فوالله ما من جنة ولا نار. Now that you have the ball in your hand, keep it and play with it. Forget about revelation and resurrection. No. These things, even don't think about it, like even didn't exist. Now we have power, just enjoy it. When it ended in Yazid, he said it even clearer. He said, لعبت هاشم بالملك فلا خبر جاء ولا وحي نزال. Who said there was revelation? Who says there will be resurrection? No. So that's true Muhammad Islam, and the values that he introduced were replaced with the Jahiliyyah values again. A rebellion against revolution and against revelation, against both of them, by this family. Now, when we hear that even non-Muslims, they are saying that, well, Islamic State, that ISIS is not either Islamic nor state. They are not Islamic, they don't have a state. They do say that. But still, when you go to the tone of the masses in the society, Still, so many people think that they are spokesmen of Islam. So we have really a big challenge how to explain to people who don't care about like Shia and Sunni, because it's hard to explain for the Islamophobia that what are we talking when we talk about Islam. They think, oh, all Muslims, and don't distinguish between Shia and Sunni, or Sunni and Shia and Shia. No. It is hard for us to explain that there are two kinds of approaches to Islam. One is the approach of Prophet Muhammad, that is the true teachings of Islam. And another one is Abu Sufyan and Bani Umayyah, Al-Umayyah and Al-Saud. They do not speak for Islam. If you really care to learn about Islam, this is what Prophet Muhammad was. إذا بعث جيشا قال لهم سيروا بسم الله وفي سبيل الله ولا تغلوا ولا تمثلوا ولا تغدروا ولا تقتلوا شيخا فانيا ولا سبيا ولا امرأة ولا تقطعوا شجرا إلا أن تضطروا إليها. Even in fighting with your enemies, don't hurt the babies, the kids, the women, the elderly. Even don't cut the trees if you don't have to. Be very careful. Don't torture, don't cut organs, don't act barbaric, and don't cheat even, and don't deceive even your enemies. This is what Islam is about. When we come to the Quran, Allah says, وَنُنَزِّلُ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ مَا هُوَ شِفَاءٌ وَرَحْمَةٌ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَلَا يَزِيدُ الظَّالِمِينَ إِلَّا خَسَارًا. That the Quran is, the message of Quran is a medicine for mu'mineen. The Quran is a pharmacy for the faithful. It provides shifa. Is just for the zalimeen, for the oppressors, for the forces of injustice. That's a loss for them. That's a collapse for criminals, al-zalimeen. This is the Quran, medicine. لَقَدْ جَاءَكُمْ رَسُولٌ مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ عَزِيزٌ عَلَيْهِ مَا عَنِتُّمْ حَرِيصٌ عَلَيْكُمْ بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ رَءُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. This messenger is from you and for you. Your grief is his grief. Your suffering, his suffering. Your pain, his pain. Your hardship, his hardship. He cares. He came to bring life, not death. To peace, not violence. So listen to this man who brings life. يا أيها الذين آمنوا استجيبوا لله وللرسول إذا دعاكم لما يحييكم. The Prophet came to bring hayat, not death and barbarism and beheading and bombardment of the hospital and burning the babies and killing the sick and attacking the funerals. That is not representing the values of this prophet. No, those who behead people, behead soldiers, and they cut their chest and take the heart out and they eat the heart, and they say that they are Muslim. The crime that happened yesterday in Sana'a. This is Abu Sufyan Islam. This is King Salman Islam. These are representative of not true teachings of the Prophet, but true teachings of the Shaitan. The Prophet was Nabiyur Rahmah, the messenger of mercy for an entire mankind. Nabiyyur Rahmah. Khuluqun Azim, he was a mighty moral example. Uswatan Hasana, an excellent ethical example for humanity. بلغ العلا بكماله كشف الدجى بجماله حسنت جميع خصاله صلوا عليه وآله. اللهم صل على محمد وآله. He reached to the highest and the most perfect point of his personality and ended with the beauty of his vision, the depth of darkness in human life. He got all the beauties gathered in character of the Prophet. And this is the one that Allah Himself and His angel يُصَلُّونَ عَلَى النَّبِيِّ. Then He says, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا صَلُّوا عَلَيْهِ وَسَلِّمُوا تَسْلِيمًا. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. He sends his peace and salutation to the Prophet. And then he says, now I did it. I want the mu'mineen to do the same thing. Not only sending your salutation, but also your submission. Sallimu. In a sense of both salam and also taslim, submission to the teachings of this Prophet who is Siraj and Munira, a shining light of your life for all. His mission was to يُزَكِّيهِمْ وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةِ. He brought education, he brought purification, he brought salvation, he brought rationality and responsibility, this sense of respect for humanity. And Allah says, this is your example. مَا آتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْ فَانْتَهُ. He is your example. His yes is yes, his no is no. When he says yes, you say the same thing. If he said no, stop. If he said go, go. Just look at this example. قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهُ وَيَغْفِرْ لَكُمْ ذُنُوبَكُمْ. If you love your Lord, look at the example of the Prophet and follow this man. أَتِيُوا اللَّهَ وَأَتِيُوا الرَّسُولَ. Be polite to your Prophet. لا ترفعوا يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا ترفعوا أصواتكم فوق صوت النبي ولا تجهروا له بالقول كجهر بعضكم لبعض. Don't raise your voice when you talk to your Prophet. Be polite. Don't show rudeness to Rasulullah. This is an order. So brothers and sisters, if this is the Quran, a message, a medicine, if this is the Prophet who cares for you and he is merciful to you, and these are his teachings, so what does this Islam have to do with terrorism and crimes and torture and tyranny? Kids in Mecca to take their stones and hit his legs and his feet and insult him, and still this man under torture, and while his companions were tortured, used to say, Allahumma aghfirhum, Allahumma aghfir liqawmi fa'innahum la ya'lamun. He prays for people who are killing him and torturing him. And now those guys come and they claim that they are Muslims and they kill in the name of this Prophet of peace and do all this mess in the world. How embarrassing. It really pains us that these people are destroying Islam in the name of Islam. destroying Prophet Muhammad in the name of Prophet Muhammad. The verse that Mahdi just recited. This man, after 23 years of suffering and sacrificing and serving and educating and purifying and caring and working hard for the community, he said, I don't ask any reward from you. إِلَّا الْمَوَدَّةَ فِي الْقُرْبَى. Do only one thing. Show your love for Ahlul Bayt. How many times he said, من أحب عليا فقد أحبني. من أحب فاطمة فقد أحبني. من أحب حسنا فقد أحبني. من أحب حسينا فقد أحبني. And he kept repeating this statement. Sometime Hassanain came to the mosque, and they were little kids yet, and they are crying. The Prophet is talking on the member. He stopped his lecture, he comes down, and he takes his boys, and he hugs them, and he kisses them, and demonstrates his love for them. It's from his heart, but also to tell people his passion for Hassan and Hussein. Even one day Umar saw that the Prophet has Hassan and Hussein, he is carrying them on his arms. And he said that, Ni'mal Jamal or Ni'mal Faras, Farasukuma. And the Prophet said, Ni'mar Rakiban. They said, wow, you have a good vehicle. Boys, you have a beautiful vehicle. How selective, how smart you are to have this vehicle. And the Prophet said, they are good drivers. They are good Farasan, they are good Rakiban. And he used to tell people, Awladuna, Akbaduna. But you see, just one thing that the Prophet asked his people, and they never did it, even that one. From the time that he passed away, see what happened to his family. He said only one thing, إِلَّا الْمَوَدَّةَ فِي الْقُرْبَى. And many people in this ummah did not do even that one single request of the Prophet. To the point that Hub Ahlul Bayt and love for the family of the Prophet became like a crime. That if you love the family of the Prophet, like you are guilty, you are Rafidi. To the extent that even a leader like Imam Shafi'i, he says, إن كان رافضا حب آل محمد فليشهد الثقلان إني رافضي. This shows the atmosphere in that environment, that people who show love for Ahlul Bayt, they were called Rafidi. And now Imam Shafi'i said, okay, you may call me Rafidi, I'm the rejecter, but I don't care if that is what you mean by Rafidi, to show love for Ahlul Bayt. So you see, when we really deal with the Islamophobia, we have a hard time to explain that these guys are not representing Rahmatan lil Alameen. They are not representing Uswatun Hasanan Khuluqun Adim. They are not representing a book that is a shifa, not sickness and disease. These people are bringing disease to the world, while the book of this man brought shifa and medicine to the world. How difficult it is to explain that these are Khawarij, and they have been killing the family of the Prophet himself from day number one, and hijacking our faith for centuries and centuries. They are not speaking for As-Sadiq al-Amin. This is not what we believe. This is not our religion. what Bin Laden or Baghdadi or Salman or all these polluted princes of Saudi who have their pleasure in those occupied palaces and with evil, they have nothing to do with the pure message of Prophet and this beautiful religion. But it's not easy to explain, brothers and sisters. That is our challenge. To say, no, the Takfiris have nothing to do with Islam. The Wahhabis who follow the theology of Takfiri have nothing to do with Islam. We just had Muslim ibn Aqil night, a couple of nights ago. He could stop the tragedy of Karbala with one act of terrorism. Muslim ibn Aqil, when he was in the house of Hani ibn Urwa, and Ibn Ziyad came to visit Hani, the host of Muslim, and Hani told him that the devil is coming, be ready and kill him, and put an end to this evil army. Muslims started thinking about it. Hani is there, and Ibn Ziyad came in, and Hani just moving back and forth. Muslim is on the other room and just sending indirectly message, Muslim, come, the guy is leaving, come, kill him, finish him. He didn't come. Even Ibn Ziyad, what's going to happen? I mean, what's going on? Looks like Hani is nervous, and he thought that something like unusual. Ibn Ziyad left, and Hani said, Muslim, how come you missed this opportunity? This devil is going to destroy all of us. Why you didn't kill him? Nobody was with him. This is Imam Hussein's message. This is the one who speaks for Prophet Muhammad. The answer was this. Muslim told Hani, I heard this hadith from the Holy Prophet that he said, Al-Imanu Qaidul Fatk. Iman and terrorism can go together. There is no place in this religion for terrorism. I could not kill this guy with a surprising act. That was not a dignified. I'm ready to fight with him, but I didn't want to kill him in this way. That was not a courageous way of fighting with your enemy. This is the teaching of Karbala, and you understand now that when we say Al-Islamu Nabawiyul Huduth Husayniyul Baqa, the connection between Karbala and the Prophet of Rahmah, Nabiyul Rahmah, Nabiyul Maghfirah, Nabiyul Salam, Nabiyul Akhlaq, and his beautiful family who sacrificed for the same reason. The individual who asked me to talk about this issue, he also asked about another dimension of the life of the Prophet. I leave that for another night because the limitation that we have in this time. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Only 12 or 13 years old, Al-Qasim ابن المجتبى ما بينهم وجبينه يزهو كشمس داحية لم أنسه بين الرجال وعمره يا للبرية 85 نادى ألا يا عم أدركني فقد وزعنا أعضاء السيوف الماضية فأتاه يسرع بالخطاب دموعه للأسف الأرض من عينيه تهمى جارية. Imam Hussein is coming and sitting next to Qasim وهو يفسح برجليه, and he is saying, Ya Qasim, bu'dan liqawmin qataluk. Shame on those evils who had no mercy even for a faithful and innocent boy like Qasim. Azza wallahi ala ammika an tad'uh fala yujibuk aw yujibuka fala yanfa'uk. Qasim, it really hurts me not to be able to answer you, or if I answer you, able to assist you. It hurts your uncle. Assalamu alayka ya wali Allah wa ibnu waliyih ya sayyidi wa mawlai القاسم ابن القاسم ابن الإمام الحسن المجتبى. لقد عظمت المصيبة وجلت الرزية بك علينا وعلى جميع المسلمين. السلام عليك أيها الشهيد وابن الشهيد، أيها المظلوم وابن مظلوم. لعن الله الظالمين بحقك وبحق أبيك وجدك وعمك وأهلك يا ابن رسول الله. السلام عليك ورحمة الله وبركاته. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. I want to sincerely thank you, brothers and sisters, for your generous contribution to your house of wisdom, your house of service, your house of education last night. May Allah bless your health, your happiness, and your life, and your family, as you would continue to demonstrate your support for good causes. Allah bless you with barakah, al-khair al-kathir في الدنيا والآخرة. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله. وصلوا على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.